Welcome to Twist Talks, where we talk about the Japanese game Twisted Wonderland.
We discuss theories, headcanons, and other random nonsense about the game and its characters.
For the sake of spoilers within our podcast topics, we will only be discussing the international release over the Japanese release.
Hi, I'm Talissa, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, I'm Kaden, and my pronouns are I don't give a fuck.
Hi, I'm Wonder, and I use any pronouns. Twist Talks stands by Palestine and does not support the Disney Corporation's decision to support Israel. For the moment, all three hosts of Twist Talks are choosing not to support Twisted Wonderland in any way financially, and we urge any and all listeners to do the same.
Welcome back to Twist Talks. It's been a while. We're super sorry. No, we're not.
We're slightly sorry.
We're slightly sorry. Been all over the place, so we weren't able to record. But we are finally sitting down and recording. Or, I'm not sure about everyone else.
I am sitting on 2 chairs because I gotta keep my leg elevated, so.
I'm at my desk, so I'm sitting.
Okay, so everyone's partly sitting.
Sitting adjacent, you know?
Yeah. So today we're going to have Wonder. And these are just going to be some fanfics that we've chosen. And if you didn't know, Wonder does podfics. So, and if you're following us through AO3, you can find their podfics there. They'd probably love it if you listened.
Absolutely. I only have one Twisted Wonderland podfic at the moment. It is a pod together, and it's EDK, and it's adorable. I've talked about it many times. Summary is basically just gender fuckery with EDK, and I love it. But yeah.
I have read it and listened to it. Confirm it's good. You should do the same.
Yay! Finally! It only took like 6 months.
I listened to it last year, which only means sometime in December.
A month ago.
I don't know when I listened to it, but I know I did. That's the important part.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will go ahead and just get right into the fics then. Which one do we want to start with? Because we have 4.
I don't care.
I don't care either.
Okay, pick a number 1 through 4 then.
3.
Okay.
Okay. Was that the wrong choice?
So that's the Tumblr one. This is For Tuna by Dotster001. I'm very good at reading usernames.
I feel like usernames are something.
Do I need to read all 4 parts?
There's what? There's 4 parts?
Yes. You just sent me the first one, so I'm just gonna read the first one.
I apologize. I only have read the first one. I thought that's all it was.
Alright, I'll just read the first one then. Okay.
Apologies to the author.
This to the right. Yeah. Okay. So this is For Tuna by Dotster001. Grim, we can't afford the bougie tuna. Put it back. You'd missed it before. Oh, this is second POV, not. So this is you as in YOU and not the character you, YUU. Okay.
Second POV is weird, but you know.
Yeah.
It works with the story.
Second POV podfic is really weird. I've only listened to a couple. It makes me feel really weird. Anyway.
Apologies.
You'd missed it before. It's fine. You'd missed it before when you were loading your basket at Sam's shop, but Grim had snuck in the expensive tuna. Now you were at the counter, trying to hide your embarrassment as you told Grim to put it back. Sam gave you a sympathetic smile, but still, you didn't need to add his pity to your plate of worries. Prefect, don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Prefect, don't worry about it. I can take care of it. You jumped. You hadn't realized Ruggy had lined up behind you with his own basket full of stuff. Yeah, let Ruggy. I couldn't do that, Ruggy, but thanks for the offer. Ruggy grinned. Oh, please, it's on Leona. He said I could get whatever I want as long as I come back with his energy drinks. You made an unconvinced face, and Ruggy gave a playful wink. Trust me, your tuna won't even make a dent in his wallet. I could pay for your entire load and still be able to pay off my student loans. In fact, he slapped down Leona's wallet. Oh god. Sam, add YN's groceries to mine. I'll take care of it. I feel weird saying YN. Okay.
You can just swap it with you. You can always just switch it to YUU if that's easier to read.
That's fine. I don't really like doing stuff like that when I'm podficking. I try to keep things as close to the source material as possible. So, it's fine.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, Sam, add YN's groceries to mine. I'll take care of it. Before you could protest further, Sam was ringing you both up. And then Grim got an idea. A terribly, wonderful, awful idea. Okay. There, all settled. Plus, now you can afford to fix your windows this month, or... He looked at the cash in your hand. Well, you can fix one window at least. And don't feel too bad for Leona. Eat the rich and whatnot. Oh, we forgot to mention this. The only one of these that I know going in is the one that I picked.
Yes, these are blind reads.
Yeah.
Yep, these are, as Kisa Hawkland, my favorite podficker, likes to call them, ice cold reads. I have no clue what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah, so maybe we should say no voices, just because half the time you probably won't know who's saying what.
Yeah, I'm trying. That's what took me so long to, get through that paragraph, because I couldn't tell who was speaking. But I'm trying. Okay. Anyway, eat the rich and whatnot. Ruggy patted your back comfortingly, then left with his groceries. Come on, Grimmy, let's go, you say with a heavy sigh. Actually, I have something to do, henchhuman. You go on home. I'll see you later. Okay, but if you need me, I'll be okay. Geez, you get so anxious without the Great Grim. It's embarrassing. You rolled your eyes and left. You would be so proud of him once he had finished. You would be so proud of him once he had finished, though. He was excited already. Oh, now I know what this is. I don't know why that took me so long.
I was gonna say, I think I sent this to you in the past.
Yeah, but I didn't read it.
You're
but
reading
you've
it now.
talked about it several times.
It's a
On
good
the pod,
thing.
too, so...
I don't remember that. I don't remember anything I say on the pod.
Okay. Heartslabile Dorm. Mr. Rosehearts, thank you for meeting with me. Grim primly took out his pen and began to scribble on a clipboard. I didn't meet with you. You barged into my office, Riddle said, his arms crossed along his chest. I think you will find this meeting beneficial. It pertains to YN Ellen, your name, last name. Riddle relaxed a little and raised a single curious eyebrow. You see, it has come to my attention that YN and I do not have the funds to live comfortably. In fact, YN is practically starving to death. It has also come to my attention that you harbor some feelings for the prefect and are in possession of a great deal of funds. Now, Grim dramatically looked up at Riddle, whose face was a shade of dark red. How do you intend to provide for YN? Riddle opened his mouth, and Grim prepared himself for the worst, but... Wait, YN's on the market? Grim turned over his shoulder. Oh, okay, wait, YN's on the market? Grim turned over his shoulder just in time to see Cater run in, tea tray in hand. He's only taking applications from rich people. Not a concern, House Warden. Cater cleared his throat. Hi, I'm Cater Diamond, and my dad is a banker. Oh! Grim made a note on his paper. Riddle stood up abruptly. You only talk to your family on holidays. I wouldn't call that a solid source of income. Yes, but I'm But I'm a people pleaser, so I'll probably follow in his footsteps. So I will also have a banker's salary. Belt. Oh my god. Also a people pleaser. Riddle turned to Grim in a panic. I'm going to be a doctor. Oh, scribble, scribble. Not true, but okay. Oh, please. Cater rolled his eyes before conspiratorially leaning into Grim. We both know Riddle. He'll work long shifts, day in and day out, and he'll never come home, meaning poor YN will be trapped in a lonely, loveless marriage. Meanwhile, I'll work my 9 to 5 and be home in time to gift you tuna and keep YN warm at night. You think Grim cares about that? Riddle shoved Cater out of the way. I'll make time for YN, plus my salary will provide double the tuna for you. What's all the yelling about? Trey entered the room, followed by Ace and Deuce. Don't look at them. Those three are poor as fuck. I mean, a baker? Blech, disgusting. Cater apologetically smiled at Trey. No offense. What? Trey said, feeling more confused than he had ever been. Grim clicked his pen closed. Thank you for your time. I have more interviews to conduct, but I will be in contact if you get through to the second round. He scampered out of the dorm as Riddle and Cater nodded after him. Maybe I should have read this to you when you sent it to me.
It's a good thing.
We're only through one of the dorms, and it's so funny already.
I'll have to read the other 3 parts I didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. I gotta refill my water.
Yes. I've read this fic a few times, and obviously I recommend.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's very good so far. Okay. Okay. Savannah Claw dorm. Grim sat at the foot of Leona's bed as he tapped his chin thoughtfully. Oh god, Leona voice. How could I provide for YN, huh? You mean the little demonstration Ruggie gave this morning wasn't enough? Grim tapped the pen impatiently against the clipboard. Mr. Kingscaller, it is important that you participate fully, or I will remove you from the list entirely. Leona groaned. I receive a certain amount of, shall we say, an allowance. And how much can I expect from that? I have a lot of people to interview. Please don't waste my time. Leona looked over at Ruggie, who was folding laundry, then gestured Jim closer before whispering a number in his ear. Grim gasped, then hastily words. Grim gasped, then hastily scribbled something onto his clipboard. We will be in contact with you when the second round of interviews begins. Grim stood up and hopped off the bed. Ruggie, Leona snapped. Ensure my future Okay. Lord, oh my god. Okay. Ensure my future relative makes it out of here safely. Let no one stop you. Ruggie nodded in understanding as he escorted a proud-looking Grim out. Once they were halfway through the dorm, Ruggie began to speak. Leona has promised me a job with an excellent salary once I graduate. Just saying. Won't he just take back the job if he finds out you're competing with him? Ruggie rolls his eyes. Never mind. I just realized my Ruggie and my Grim voice are the exact same.
Meh.
Oh well.
Makes sense.
Oh well. Jack left his room and noticed the two of them and began to walk towards them. Jack will make you get a job if you pick him, Ruggie whispered hastily. Grim hissed and sprinted the rest of the way out of the dorm. What's wrong with Grim? Jack asked. Who knows? As Grim made his way to his second location, he was picked up by the scruff of his neck. Oh. Hey, what's the big idea? Oh, God. Aw, Sealy, you're so cute. Aw, little Sealy, you're so cute. Missed a word. Grim stiffened. Oh, Jade. The fucking twins. Okay.
I should have
Hang
warned
on.
you. You'd need to do everyone's voices for this thing.
Mhm.
Everyone.
I still haven't figured out how to differentiate my Jade and my Azul voice, so this will be fun. Well, Rookie and Grim already share a voice.
It's fine.
Jade laughed next to him. Our boss would like to have a word with you. Grim gulped. Okay. Octave and Eldorm. Thank you for agreeing to see me, Azul said smugly. I didn't. Your scary twins picked me up and dragged me here. You see, Azul pushed his glasses up his nose, expertly ignoring Grim. We got word that you were interviewing potential candidates for Wyan's future husband. I prepared some charts for you. Oh my god. Azul pulled out several charts. Grim understood exactly 0 of them, but he nodded thoughtfully and pretended to make a note on his clipboard. As you can see, my income is projected to continually go up until retirement. Plus, my assets will continue to be of value, and my investments will be bringing in money for many years to come. I can safely say money is no object. Plus, I am an excellent cook. You will never have to eat poor person's tuna ever again. Grim made a real note this time, just as the twins roughly turned his chair around. Now that Azul has had his turn, we would like to give our pit. Oh, that's Jade. The stupid twins. I hate them. Why do I keep getting them mixed up? Okay. Now that Azul has had his turn, we would like to give our pitch, Jade said with an eerie grin. You see, our parents run a certain organization. Floyd and Jade shared a grin before turning to Grim again. Jade and I are the sole inheritors of this empire when they pass. Just keep that in mind. Also, people who oppose this organization have a tendency to, shall we say, disappear. Grim shivered as he made a skull and crossbones picture on his clipboard. Sorry. Oh, I haven't had it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Awesome, great. I'll be taking Grim now. Sea snake! Floyd shouted, Oh no, okay, wrong intonation. Sea snake! Floyd shouted, wrapping his arms around Jamil, who had silently snuck into the room. Let go, Jamil hissed, wriggling away from Floyd. Give me the cat. Aw, but we were playing with him. It's all right, Floyd. I think the 3 of us have made our point quite clear, Jade hummed, before the Octa trio shared a laugh. Jamil rolled his eyes before carefully picking up Grim. Scarabia dorm. Look, Kalim isn't going to brag for himself, so I thought I'd bring you here and remind you that this entire dorm was funded by his family, and he will be inheriting said funds. Grim nodded and made a note. What about you? I mean, I already know you aren't getting picked because, well... Grim pointedly looked him up and down. But the other broke losers have tried to participate.
There you go, Kaden. Some
One!
Jamil
There
dissing
was
for
one!
you.
It was Ruggy!
Yeah.
There was one and it was Ruggy. Hang on now. Jamil leaned down and gave a dark smile. I don't need money to win over YN. Eyes flashing red as he spoke. That better not mean what I think it means. Oh, fuck. My French accent.
Think about that.
Huh?
I didn't even think about that when I read that.
You're the Scarabia stan here. How did you...
I know!
How did I pick up on that before he did?
Because I read other fics and have gotten used to the phrase, their eyes darken. So I didn't think about this.
Okay, do I
time
give
for your
Rook a French
accent.
accent, or do I just read the French with an American accent?
Do the accent.
I want to hear the French accent.
Please do the
I
accent.
didn't do my British accent for Riddle though.
It doesn't matter anymore.
At least for the next line. At least for the next line.
Oh my god. The next line is 2 words, and I would have said it with my French accent anyway, because my French teacher conditioned me.
Real.
Can I have my French exchange student judge your accent?
No! Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
It's fine, I don't think she knows I do this.
Okay, here we go.
Okay,
I don't know how to say fuzzball in a French accent. Anyway, Monsieur Fuzzball! Grim and Jamil both groaned. I agree with that sentiment. It only took 2 seconds for him to be scooped up by the hunter. No, do not chuckle. I only wish to prove myself as a proper caretaker. Oh, it's so bad.
I love it.
Shut up. It's been a while since I've spoken in French, okay? I haven't used my accent in a minute. What?
Okay, it's Rook. I wouldn't be surprised if his French accent sounded like this.
Honestly, though. He's not even, like, from the France region. He's from the Sunset Savannah, which is, I usually think of as, like, the Africa region. So...
Africa.
Yeah, my mind going to Australia.
That's where Leona and Ruggy are from.
I know.
It's a line from me.
No. The Octotrio ones are the Australian ones, remember? Because they're from the, like...
Oh, no.
I forgot the word. The coral reef?
No, I'm trying to picture them with Australian accents. I can't. This is a whole episode on its own. What accents do the characters have?
Oh, I can do that. I can do an episode on that. It's in my headcanon stock.
We'll just pull up bad Google, like, accent demonstrations. Just get Siri in the different accents to say their quotes.
Okay, anyway, moving on, because this is a long one, and we have 3 others to get through. Pomfior dorm. Grim had never been so pampered, well-fed, and relaxed in his entire life. I mean, he is only a few months old, but anyway. Rook had provided snacks galore, given Grim the full-on spa treatment, brushed out his fur, and was now massaging his sore kitty back. Monsieur Fuzzball... I'm not going to do the French accent, only on the French words. Monsieur Fuzzball, doesn't this feel wonderful? Grim nodded as Rook continued his massage. Just think, you could have this every day. Grim groaned happily as Rook hit a tough knot. Suddenly, Rook's voice was directly in his ear. All you have to do is give me the trickster. In that moment, Grim knew he would sell you for his life without a second thought, or sell you for this life without a second thought. But before he could do that, for heaven's sake, I told you to find Epel, not this rodent. Rook immediately stopped the massage, turning to his queen. Quoi du poisson? I was simply... Spare me, Vil snapped, before handing a struggling Epel over to Rook. He then reached into his pocket and pulled out a small card, gracefully handing it to Grim between 2 fingers. I believe you are aware of my financial situation, but should you have questions, you can reach my manager on that card. Then he left the room with a flourish and the lingering scent of apple blossoms.
Real.
This next line, oh my god. You know I am willing to share the trickster with you, Rook whispered to Phil in the hallway. Ew, Apple groaned. As if I'd ever share, Phil smirked. I just want to know if we get a say in this, because if we did...
Just wait.
Ew.
Just wait.
I know. Outside the Ignihide dorm. Ah, Ortho stood next to the tablet, holding Grim up so he could see what it said. So, as you can see from my bank account, Edia's voice said from the tablet, money is not and never will be an issue. It all looks good, Grim muttered as he made a note. But I have to say, it's a red flag that you couldn't come here in person. Hey! Big Brother is just busy with his experiment. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ortho, for being the only one who appreciates genius. In fact, this conversation is over. If he doesn't get it, then that's his loss. Oh god. Ditch the noob, Ortho. And the tablet floated back into the door. Ortho gently set Grim down. Look, Big Brother gets nervous around the prefect, that's all. But I think they'd make a great couple. He gently patted Grim's head, then floated back in. Grim sighed, made a note about how Edia was a package deal, then continued to the final dorm. The Insomnia dorm. Oh, Melly! Not me, like, literally adjusting my posture to voice Malleus.
You know he would, though.
He would! Right, this next line. Small kitten, I am to be the king of a country. Not only that, but I have spent centuries curating my hoard. Our nest will always be warm, and my perfect child of man will want for nothing. Malleus finished with a smug grin as he leaned back in his throne. Then he sighed and rolled his eyes. Now you three can make your offers, or whatever. Oh my god, I love this so much. Me next, Lilia said, cradling Grim like a baby. I'm not as young as I look, and I'm on the best of terms with the queen and future king. I also have a great fortune built up. Okay, who's next? Silver timidly raised his hand. I just want to say, what about what YN wants? What if YN doesn't like any of us? What if YN doesn't even want to get married in the end? Or maybe they'll be just as happy with or without money? There was a long pause. Then, Silver's father is loaded and will do anything to see his children married and happy. But, Lilia! Silver hid his face in his hands in embarrassment. Same with Sebek, and his dad's a dentist. For once, Sebek had nothing to say. Oh, that's rare.
Wow.
Excellent, this is looking promising for you four. Grim nodded, scribbling his final notes. Now to Grim! Uh-oh. He turned around and saw you storming in. Oh my god! I just skipped a line. Oh, this is hilarious. Okay. Child of man, save it, Mau Mau. I'm here for my rat. You scooped up Grim, placing him under your arm as you left the room. When will we hear about the second round of interviews? Lilia giggled. You answered by flipping them the middle finger without looking back. The hallway. What the hell, Grim? I'm not for sale. I'm not selling you. I'm just trying to get you provided for. Please, this is about Tuna and you know it. Who even told you? Jack called me about it in... Oh god. Do I have to fucking come up with a voice for him?
Lol.
It's Crowman.
It's Crowman. I know I always say that Bill is my least favorite, but genuinely, Crowman is my least favorite character. Oh god, I have to come up with a voice for him. Prefect. You and Grim groaned as you heard Curly call to you both. Yes, head mage, you asked through gritted teeth. You turned and saw Cruel was with him, wearing a bigger coat than normal. No, that better not. That coat looks so soft, Grim muttered. Yeah, you whispered back. Wait, head mage, what do you need? I heard your current allowance is no longer sufficient. He gently traced your jawline, settling below your chin, tapping up against it thoughtfully. How does a little extra sound? You nodded dumbly. Good. I'm too generous, I know. He hummed and walked off. Aww. Before Cruel followed him, he smirked and patted the top of your head. Good pup. He stalked off. You stood frozen for a moment. Grim smirked up at you. You know, they look like they... You keep that thought to yourself, Grim. Hard agree. Okay, it was all amazing until right at the very end. I'm sorry.
I'm not. When someone writes they stalked off, I see like a stick figure and like waddling away. Like no movement in the knees, just waddle.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I guess I picture it more as like they stormed off or something. Like I just assume they're in like a bad mood when someone stalks off or something. I don't know. But now I'm picturing a stick figure. You can't see the waddling.
It's beautiful. Especially that Crowman doing it.
God. Okay. Do we want to go on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That was our first fic. I hope you liked it and all our commentary. Yeah, I probably should have warned you that the only people you didn't need voices for were Vargas
The brain
and
cell
Sebek.
duo. That's it.
Oh, right. They didn't talk either.
Oh, and Kaleem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, my God.
So the brain cell duo, Kaleem and Sebek. And then some of the
Kaleem
teachers.
didn't even make an appearance. He was just there.
Who?
He was just mentioned. Kaleem. He didn't make an appearance.
Yeah.
Neither did Vargas. We don't want Vargas. Never.
Nope. Although, honestly, I feel like Vargas is the nicest out of the teachers. But considering who he's based on, he's probably also...
No one.
Anyway, pick a number 1 through 3.
2.
2? Still
Yeah.
is his other fic.
Darn, Talissa.
We can do a different one.
No, it's too late.
For context, I picked 2 fics.
Mhm.
Everyone else has 1.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if Kaden would pick a fic, honestly.
I almost didn't. I struggled.
And I would have had one for you in case you didn't.
Mhm.
Real.
It's being thoughtful.
Ooh. Okay, I'm looking at your fic now, and I haven't read this one. That is surprising.
Oh, it's that one, right? Got some mallow rid here.
Yeah. And considering that's one of my favorite chips. Okay, we're doing this. Okay. Let It Run My Mood, Can't Stop Thinking of You by woodsnstuff is this fic. Okay. Excuse me. Music faintly thrummed through the garden. Cater thought it was a great idea to blast music as chores were done, and if people behaved, they got to play a few songs. Riddle thought it was incredibly distracting as he cleaned up the various stone gazebos scattered on the garden's outskirts. He was far from where the majority of the students were, especially from the loudspeaker, and he could still hear. Honestly, it was ridiculous. No wonder why some students couldn't hear him at times. The redhead scrubbed the dirt at the... Sorry. Jeez. Fucking coughing. Sorry. The redhead scrubbed the cleaner... Paragraphs are
Mood.
weird. Okay. So my fan is not hitting me in the right spot. I'm sorry.
Technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use that time to make
How
noise
much of that did y'all hear?
Decent amount.
Okay. I should probably clean this at some point. Anyway.
It's fine.
The redhead scrubbed the cleaner on the table in circles, hoping the movement would distract him enough from the atrocious song that had just barely come on. Dirt and other grime turned the white paste brown with specks of black. His face scrunched in disgust. This was one of the most used spots when the lunchroom was full. Was no one really capable of cleaning up the tables after themselves? Ew. Dipping the cloth in the water bucket next to him, he started washing it all away, running through his mental library to remember who usually sits back here when he does his bi-hourly rounds. Mostly freshmen with some sophomores and no juniors? 3 redheads, one with a yellow streak in their hair, another with 2 spike piercings in his earlobe. A mouse beastman, a black-haired sophomore with that small but brightly colored tattoo on his neck. Riddle was so focused on the task in front of him and his mind... Riddle was so focused on the task in front of him and his mind now that he didn't notice the rustling not too far from him. Didn't notice how a figure emerged from the bushes. Didn't notice their feet stepping on a misplaced branch. not until a hand laid itself on his shoulder. He gasped in surprise, going to turn around and smack away the hand, demanding why they didn't make their presence known. But it all failed in his throat as another hand wrapped around his waist, the other going to his chin and tilting it upward.
Yay!
He was met with green eyes, bright and mischievous. All the anger that had built up had disappeared, causing him to sag into the taller and sturdier body holding him. Low laughs rumbled against where he rested his head, his hands dropping the rack and holding the larger hand at his waist. He closed his eyes, letting out a sigh of relief, I assume. The word is a sigh of release, but I assume that's meant to say sigh of relief?
No, say it correct.
But grammar.
No.
Okay. This is how it's written, letting out a sigh of relief as his heart started to calm itself. And this is how I want to say that, letting out a sigh of relief as his heart started to calm itself. Ha! There you go. Whoa, what a surprise, Rosehearts. Malleus let go of Riddle's chin, the latter laughing lightly. That's what I should be saying. He turns around in the comforting hold. What brings you to Heartstabule? Rumors of a tea party, perhaps? Sorry to disappoint, but it's being postponed. Why is my voice for them, the same? That is concerning to me. I don't like that.
I also don't know what just happened, but, all the computers in this room just, turned on, so...
Oh, that's fun.
You hear weird noises in the background, that's what it was. There's, 1, 2, 3... There's, 7 computers in this room.
Anyway.
8.
Oh, I love them. Do you ever have the thought that I have come to see my dear when I wish to? Riddle turned his head away, a smile showing his teeth, a pink blush appearing on his cheeks. They're so cute. The prince bent down, grabbing his chin and tilting it toward him again, their lips ghosting each other. I guess not. And before Malleus could let out a teasing reply, the redhead broke the minuscule distance, wrapping his arms around the other's neck loosely. Sorry, lost my spot for a second. Wrapping his arms around the other's neck loosely. It was quick, but so full of sweetness that he couldn't help but want more, even if he knew this wasn't the place to go for more. Sighing as they broke away, Riddle lifted his dangling hands and lightly played with his love's soft black hair. They are so cute.
When you just remember Malice has a mullet.
No!
Why? Oh my god!
I
groan as if I don't currently have a mullet.
Yours isn't a mullet. Don't even.
It's close. It's really close. I need to get it cut soon.
I have a
It's definitely not as bad as Mally's mullet.
Is green? His hair is green?
It's black and then it ombres to green.
Yeah, it's
just a really, really dark green that it's black, you know?
Laffy taffy hair.
Wait, shit, where was I? Wait.
Love
soft black hair. Their foreheads stayed connected as they swayed in place, staring lovingly into each other's eyes. They're so cute. And eventually his love had decided it was time to move, picking him up by his thighs and setting him down on the drying table. The prince's hands moved to stay at his hips, rubbing light circles there as he pushed the redhead down on his back with a deeper kiss. Talissa, what is the rating on this?
It's not smart.
Okay. Just
keep reading. Just keep reading.
Because this feels like the precursor to something.
It's not. If you read the next sentence.
That doesn't help. The younger had giggled into it, letting Malleus get away with what was against public decency. This still feels like the precursor to something.
He laughs the entire time, so nothing happens. There you go.
How dare you?
Why are you just laughing the entire time mean it doesn't happen? Like,
Because
one of my favorite Matcha Blossom fics. That's the whole premise. I'm not giving more context.
I promise it's not.
Okay. No, I checked. It is teen and up, so.
I've read this multiple times. I know what's in the fic.
Though it was far away from the central courtyard, and only they were back here as far as he knew. So in theory, it was fine. Alyssa! A hot tongue licked Riddle's lips in a request, and he opened his mouth in return. His face felt hotter with each brush, each noise he made that was muffled and eaten up by the other, trying to tug more of that music out of him. Wrapping his legs around the other, the redhead allowed his hands to wander down his love's sides gently.
Alyssa.
If you... It seems worse having you read it aloud, but it's fine.
Why do you think that there's no smut pot? Why I haven't done any smut pot fics? I read it. I will not read it aloud.
You could just skip a couple paragraphs.
No, it's fine.
If you don't want to...
No,
they just
keep
kiss.
reading. It's hilarious.
It's fine. I have my stress ball. It's fine.
I swear.
His lips felt wet as they parted. Malleus going to plant his face in his deer's neck. The younger giggled, curling into the body above him as his neck was nicked by sharp fangs through his shirt. Unsatisfied, the other moved the piece of clothing down and placed more kisses and little nicks of love. It caused Riddle to break out into more giggles, loving how impatient the other was. Couldn't wait until tonight, Riddle huffed between giggles, squirming more as the prince's other hand started to wander upward and feel him through the fabric.
Okay, I forgot that line. But if you read like 2 more sentences...
Though it didn't have the intended effect of getting Riddle hot and needy like Malleus would like him at the moment, just made him giggle more. Seeing that his tries were failing, the dragon just decided to nuzzle into his deer's neck, the giggles infecting him as well.
See, nothing happens.
Sure. Riddle's hand moved up to his love's hair, twining a few strands between his fingers. His smile didn't fade as he nuzzled down into the warm head beside him. He placed a chaste kiss where he remembered those wonderful black scales were. He felt lips move back to his neck, but they stayed in one place for a while, giving him a long kiss that his heart jumped with bliss. The redhead never thought he'd be able to love... Oh... Now we're getting into emotion. Okay, whiplash. Hang on. Y'all didn't hear that. Okay. The redhead never thought he'd be able to love someone, especially not like this. It felt so nice. Freeing, even. It was all thanks to that one day. No special events, just trouble caused between some dorm students. It caused Riddle to tumble backwards and down the stairs, but before his head hit the ground, green lights appeared all around him. Aww. Next he knew, Malleus was glaring at the students at the top of the stairs and kneeling on the floor, holding him firmly. Wait, that's so cute.
I told you this is a cute fic.
He had apologized profusely, even though the other didn't see why there was a need. Riddle had felt that he needed to give him an apology one way or another and have him accept it, or else he wouldn't have been able to live with himself. So the prince had smirked, and it sent chills down his spine, thinking something bad would happen. But all that followed was, "Then if you truly want to apologize so badly, personally invite me to a tea party of yours." And the Diasomnia house warden had left him in the stairwell, stunned. Aww. And so he did. Riddle had gone to personally invite him to a Heartstable tea party with some fearful encouragement from his fellow dorm peers. The prince's smile was joyous, lighting his face up in a glow that the redhead had made sure to remember after the party was over. Most of Heartstable was terrified, but it soon melted into the usual routine of joking around and snacking and playing croquet. Since then, Malleus had always showed up for tea parties when he heard they were going to have one. It was at a tea party... Oh. Something about this sentence is not
cute.
parsing well. I'm sorry, it's just something about this next sentence is not parsing well in my brain.
Fair.
I want to word this slightly differently, but I'm just going to go ahead and read it.
It reads as a bit as a, like, tongue twister, but it's
Yeah.
fine.
It was a tea party that they had first kissed in as well, away from prying eyes, which Riddle was thankful for. Yeah, just something about that like the first part of that sentence didn't feel right, but moving on. He doesn't know what he would have done with himself if he had been kissed and all his friends and peers saw him kiss back. Oh god, now I gotta come up with a fucking Deuce voice. And Ace. Dormhead! A faint voice that sounded like Deuce called and Malleus groaned, snuggling into Riddle more. The redhead sighed and let his limbs fall back, shaking the body on top of him gently, causing more groans and deeper snuggles. Dormhead, where are you?
Oh, wow.
Ace's voice was closer. Come on, I have to take care of them. But the prince refused to budge.
Okay, I forgot about
Talissa!
this.
Talissa!
I only remember the fluff, okay? I only...
Talissa's waited in my room, and once I'm done down here, you can have me there, okay? Despite the embarrassment of saying it aloud, I feel that, he hoped it would convince him to get up at the very least. Yet no movement still as the two freshmen continued to call out for him, their voices getting closer. Riddle's heart started to panic, not wanting to be found out to the public just yet. Even if Deuce and Ace weren't exactly public, in quotations, they were close enough as Ace would use this knowledge to get under his skin. Yes, he absolutely fucking would. And this is why we do not like Ace.
I love Ace.
Sure.
I hate Ace.
Me too. Eventually, with one last kiss, Malleus teleported into a million green lights. His body felt cold without the comfortable weight on him anymore. He sighed, pushing himself up and off the table. I'm over by the gazebo, and soon enough, the two freshies appeared with confused looks. What do you need? Riddle crossed his arms. Oh, we just finished our chores, and we're coming to ask if we could go over and spend some time at Ramshackle. Deuce was quick to ask, keeping his eyes on his house wardens. Though Ace was less directional, leaning his body to the side with his head as he leaning his body to the side with his head as he looked up at him. Or as he looked at him. If all of your chores and homework are done, then yes. If not, get to it and come to me if you need help. Will do, Dormhead. And Ace, what are you looking at? Did you decide to slack off and lay down in a puddle? 'Cause you look soaked from behind. And that's the end of that one.
Okay. I only remembered the fluff in there. But it is a cute thing, and I stand by it.
It is cute, but still.
Talissa.
It doesn't seem as bad until it didn't seem as bad when I'm just reading it myself.
I mean, maybe I should have recorded that my next podfic project over break. Would have helped me get over this. my what I think is going to be my next podfic is smut. So.
Oh, how scandalous!
A scandal.
So you're gonna record that, and you complain that I picked a fig that
I wasn't
has
prepared.
some making out in it.
I wasn't prepared.
Okay.
At least, like. I know this is gonna be PWP.
I forgot about it.
Ugh. Okay.
I just remembered cute fluff.
That was not cute.
Which fair, it was that too. It was at the end, but
there
like
was so much snuggling in there. The beginning and the end were adorable. The middle was the part I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Minor cadence.
Which one's longer? Probably
theirs.
Yeah. Go with mine then.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, yours is 900 words. Mine is 3K, so.
Bruh.
Okay. Do you hang on.
Well, you already said it was me, but if I use it,
Well, no, we said it was the fic you picked.
oh, okay. Well, I don't really care either way.
I did not.
Okay, so this next one is Family Photos, written by Caden 18, otherwise known as Caden. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, God. Wait. Oh. I gotta come up with a Sebek voice, and it can't be too loud because it's 8 p.m. and I'm in a dorm building.
Dang, I was gonna say, can you just scream?
I mean, I could, but I don't want to disrupt my neighbors or my roommate.
I feel like it would be so funny if they just randomly heard you screaming whatever Sebek's lines are.
I will yell under my breath, which means I'm gonna fuck up my voice, but that's fine.
I feel like you should slightly like spoilers, kind of. Spoilers.
Apparently, there's like spoilers.
There.
Spoilers
Oh yeah.
for what?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember this one now. You sent this to us. Yeah, there are slight book 7 spoilers, but like it's not too bad, right?
No.
Like there. Yeah. Okay. So this is Family Photos by Caden. You as in the character you, Y-U-U, walked into the cold, dark castle that was the Diasomnia dorm. It always surprised them how damp the castle got. Maybe it was the stones? Probably the stones. While thinking about how the stones changed the humidity of the castle environment, you hears yelling from around the corner. It's Sebek. It's always Sebek. Lilia-sama has Waka-sama's eggshells! At those words, you seemed intrigued, rushing into the dorm's living room to see what Sebek was talking about. In the other room, say Lilia on the couch. Said Lilia?
Sat. Oops.
Oh, sat. Okay. In the other room sat Lilia on the couch, flipping through an old book. Silver sat on the floor, sharpening his blade. Yeah. You was surprised he wasn't sleeping. Oop, never mind, there he goes. Correction, Silver was sleeping on the floor. I love your writing. I've never told you that before, but I do love your writing.
Oh, thank you.
And Malleus was sitting in an odd throne-like chair, his lizard eyes watching Sebek prance around the room. That was until he noticed you. His eyes shot to them as he heard their footsteps. A quick, small smile formed on his lips as he stood to greet them. Child of man, what an honor. His voice was as royal and dignified as always. Sorry I'm not doing you justice, Mally. Where was it? You nodded with a chuckle. Sebek started yelling about how Malleus shouldn't be greeting someone as filthy as a human. Malleus, you nodded back to him before turning to Sebek. Something about eggshells? Lilia chimed in at that, jumping into the air and floating near you with an old book in tow. Yeah, Sebek's upset I saved some of Malleus's eggshell. Malleus's eggshell? You asked as his eyes moved to follow the vampiric-like Fae. The parsing machine is just broken. It's fine. Yes, child of man. Oh, this is Malice. Yes, child of man. I was born of an egg, like any dragon fae would be. Malice nodded his head as he stepped closer to you. Want to see pics of it, you? Lilia smirked as he floated right above them, the old book clutched to his chest. Yes? You smirked up at Lilia with a big nod of approval. Malleus didn't seem to enjoy the thought of his child of man looking at his egg. But he also couldn't dare to take away their bright smile at the thought. Aww. Lilia smirked down at you, waving the old leather book around to tease them. You fell for it, jumping up to grab the book, but missing by just an inch. Lilia chuckled at Yu's attempt before floating down to rest on their shoulder with a wide, toothy grin, opening the book up to show the young human the contents. You looked at the pictures and instantly blushed, grinning down at the page as they stared at a small black dragon. OMG, he looks so stupid, I love it. You blurted out as they cooed over the small dragon. He does, and it is amazing.
I
He
love
looks
Baby
so
Mouse.
dumb.
Adorable.
Baby Mally! Sebek instantly
If
reacted.
you don't know what he looks like, look it up.
Yes.
If you don't know what Baby Mouse looks like, look it up.
Sebek instantly reacted to this. His eyes widened. How dare you call Wakasamo stupid? You grabbed the book from Lilia and turned it towards Sebek, pointing at the cute baby dragon. Look, there's no thoughts behind those eyes. Sebek looked at the baby before gushing over the picture with you as well. Malleus stood in the corner of the room now, his face hidden as he stood facing the wall, blushing up a storm that his favorite human said those things. You turned the book back to them, looking at the two small photos of Malleus before noticing a bag on the other side of the page. Upon closer inspection, they found it to be thick glass-like scaly chunks. It was just a few of them, but it was enough to know that the purple scales matched Malleus's. You blushed again, running a finger over the bag of scaly eggshells. So how long was he in the egg? You asked to the air as they finally looked up from the book. 200 years! God, I cried when that little dragon hatched. Took him forever. Lilia rolled his eyes in annoyance. You and Sebek just chuckled at the thought of Malleus being a stubborn egg refusing to hatch. That's when Malleus had enough. He wasn't per se mad, but he felt left out. Oh. He turned back around to face his little found family with bright red cheeks. You noticed him embarrassed and giggled before pulling out their phone. Malleus, come here, you asked with a few protests from Sebek about ordering around the prince. Malleus came right over. Malleus stood close to you, watching them scroll through their electronic device, waiting for more. You pulled up a picture of a small-looking child of man, and then he realized. Malleus was looking at a picture of his child of man as an actual child. Gasping, he cooed at the picture before blushing in embarrassment again. Lilia floated over his shoulder to get a good look at the baby human they all so adored. Sebek seemed to be the only one to not care, besides Silver, who was still out cold. Oh, I have pictures of all these boys here, Lilia stated, before taking the book and flipping through the pages. Different photos of different milestones showed up. First, the first time holding a sword, meeting baby Silver, baby Sebek, and baby Silver. So many babies! And of course, Malleus was a teen-sized by the time the babies came around, which only made the pictures that much cuter. Grinning as Lilia showed all the pictures to you, you felt so much serotonin from the day of looking at the cute baby photos of their friends. The end.
Oh, I low-key forgot how I
It's so
ended it.
cute.
Huh?
I low-key forgot how I ended it.
Oh.
Okay, only comment I have, because I am pulling up the fics as you read them. Why did you not capitalize anything besides the yelling?
Yeah, honestly.
That's my favorite thing to do, is just to be a menace.
Oh, there's the second paragraph is capitalized. That's it.
My writing's good, but
Great
my
fic, though.
writing is also not good, okay?
It's funny, though, and that's what matters.
The story is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think,
And, like...
Very
I
close.
remember I was working night shift, and I decided to just pump out that story in like 30 minutes, and I decided I would as it was.
It's beautiful.
It's, yeah.
The only thing it needs changed is punctuation and
Shut the
capitalization.
fuck up. It's beautiful.
My favorite thing is...
I never said it wasn't.
My favorite thing about that fic, honestly, is the bit about Silver. I really hope I did that timing justice, because it is so funny.
He's surprised if he was awake. Never mind.
And there he goes.
Okay. So do we want to move on to the last one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Only one more. We got this.
I got this. This one is
We're only at an hour.
Oh God.
It's fine. It's our
No,
welcome
you're
back. It can be
that's not
long.
what I'm saying that about. I forgot. Well, no, I didn't forget, but It's an EDK fic, and my fucking Idia voice is the same as my Namangji/Ishijima voice, which if you listen to my Haikyuu and Modazusha podfics is a very deep voice, and like very deep, very mellow voice, and it fucks with my throat real bad, and it's an EDK fic, so lots of Idia. Lots of water.
My chairs became uncomfortable.
Anyway.
I'm just sprawled across two rolling chairs that are trying to roll away from each other.
Oh, no.
It's great.
I'm pretty comfortable.
I didn't say I wasn't comfortable, it's just inconvenient.
But Talissa, if you wanna pull it up while I read it, I just threw it in the chat, so.
Yep, we got it.
Yay, okay.
First words I see in the summary are Wii Sports Resort. I'm looking forward to this fic.
It's so fun. Okay. So this is Four of Diamonds by Adverb Slut, who is one of my favorite Twisted Wonderland authors because they write a lot of EDK stuff, and their EDK is very good. Actually, hang on.
I love how in the notes they left here's how you play Crazy Eights in case you don't know how. Apparently you really need to understand Crazy Eights to understand this story.
Adverb Slut, she, her, is one of my favorite, she writes really good EDK. Okay, hang on. Sorry, I just wanted to check pronouns. Okay. God, okay. Idia scowled at his hollow screen monitor for the 30th time in the hour at the Some Game 4 Game Over screen. As the Some Game 4 Game Over screen again flashed before his eyes. Like I said, parsing machine is broken. And that is another phrase that I've stolen from Kisa Hawkland, which if you are into MDZS, and if you're into Modazusha, go listen to Kisa Hawkland's stuff. Her stuff is amazing. Anyway, shouting out my favorite podficker. Yet another humiliating defeat that hadn't even come from fighting a final boss. This was just a common mob that, for some reason, had such a beefed-up health bar and an OP attack stat that made it next to impossible to beat. All of its attack patterns and rotations were seared into his memory, and yet his reflexes and extremely potent kiting abilities weren't enough for him to avoid taking massive damage. Which was pretty annoying because do you know how long he'd spent grinding dungeons to get mats to build this team? All of that is in all caps, but again, not screaming right now. How was it possible that, even after all his effort, he still couldn't defeat a common mob? He was about to let loose a string of choice words when a voice broke through the sound of his rapid keystrokes. Brother? Do you want me to preemptively place an order for a new gaming chair? A new chair? What? Idia swiveled to greet Ortho. The sudden movement elicited a quiet, "Hey!" from behind him, as well as a poke to his shoulder, but Idia only snickered. He shot a confused glance at Ortho. No, why? Because my calculations say that if you and Cater Diamond keep sitting in your gaming chair like that, there's a 92.15% chance that it'll break.
Hello?
Hello?
Calissa?
Hello?
Did it just completely cut out on my recording?
Oh no!
On my headphones?
No.
Oh
I hear you now, but I wasn't sure if that was just my end or if you just stopped mid-sentence.
no! I didn't.
No.
Okay. Apologies for interrupting.
You're
I was
good.
very confused.
You're good. Okay. Where did you cut off?
It was right before Ortho's reply after the nope why.
Okay.
So I was like, because I pre-read it and I laughed at that in my head, and then right as you started saying it, it cut off, and I was like, what the heck?
Gotcha. Okay. He shot a confused glance at Ortho. Nope. Why? Because my calculations say that if you and Cater Diamond keep sitting in your gaming chair like that, there's a 92.15% chance that it'll break. Cater, who was splayed sideways on the chair behind Idia with his legs draped over the armrests as he scrolled through his Magicam reels, whined, "But it's so comfortable, though!" I love how my Cater voice is completely different from the first. But that's fine. He would say that, because he was taking up over half the seat, but Idia couldn't refute it. If it weren't for the fact that even being around Cater gave him plus 500 nervousness, it had been plus 100 before. Plus 1,000 before, but since they were dating now, he could relax a little. Idia would have to admit that sitting together like this was plenty comfortable. Especially since Cater would sometimes braid Idia's hair or put it into Miku-esque twintails, and that alone was a huge W.
Real.
So yeah, basically the seating arrangement was a pretty sick deal, even though Ortho was probably right in saying that it wasn't the greatest for the structural integrity of his chair, or of the chair. Ortho sighed and shook his head. You may be right, Cater Diamond, but I just hope my brother knows he'll have to replace the chair when... Idia opened his mouth to argue. No, not if. I said when it breaks out of his own pocket, even though he's low on Thalmarks because he spent 3,000 of them on a character skin. Gotcha. It was worth it, though. My chair. Idia had to defend himself. Because it was true. He was super against video game cosmetics that didn't have any combat or exploration benefits, but that was before his favorite gacha game, some gacha game, had collabed with Primo and released skins that were designed after the singers of the group. Cater and Ortho raised their eyebrows at him, but he refused to back down. He was totally right on this. Anyways, Ortho continued, shaking his head at his brother amusedly, you two behave yourselves, okay? I'm going to a film research club meeting. Hello? Ah, sorry. Okay, someone messaged me. Sorry. Say hi to Vil... Oh, no. Say hi to Vil for me, said Cater absently, as he watched Idia turn back to his PC to try and defeat the same mob he'd been battling before. Idia huffed. Say hi to Vil for me, he mimicked childishly. They couldn't help it, okay? Jealousy was super overrated, but that didn't mean it wasn't one of the buggy default emotions that came with the human experience. Fair. Very fair. Okay, I'll tell him both you said hi, Ortho cheered as he hovered out the door. Wait, Ortho, no! Idia almost paused his game to chase his brother back because no, he did not want to greet Vil. Fair. What kind of normie move was that? It was okay for Cater to do so, because even though it pained Idia to admit it, he was a normie, but he couldn't have a stain on his rep like that. Imagine him volunteering to say hi to someone. Gross. Cater watched the automatic door hiss close behind Ortho. And he's out. Immediately, he drew his legs back into himself, pocketed his phone, turned around, and draped an arm over Idia's shoulder. I'm bored. Was Idia supposed to be his entertainment? Okay, he decided he could live with that as Cater's fingers began to twirl the ends of Idia's hair. Leaning back, he relaxed into the gesture. In fact, he was so relaxed that he almost forgot to be majorly PO'd when he was once again greeted by yet another game over screen. Idia's scream was muffled as he dropped his head onto his keyboard, a particularly stupid maneuver as he had cat-themed keycaps that did not do well when smushed against his face in defeat.
Ow.
Aw. Aw, you lost again? Asked Cater as he gently pried Idia's head off the keyboard. Idia could only nod miserably. In any other circumstance, he'd be flaming and spewing profanities and threats to whatever dev designed this dogwater mob's moveset, but there were only so many 2D defeats a guy could take, you know? Maybe you should take a breather, RQ? Real quick. Maybe you should take a breather, RQ, is what is written. RQ means real quick. Idia turned around in his seat to stare at him incredulously. And do what? And do what? His gaming HP bar was still at max, even if his enjoyment of this particular video game was in the red zone. Cater's response was instant. Play a game with me! What? Since when had Cater ever needed to ask, read demand in this case, to play games together? They did that all the time. Sure, I guess. He closed out of some Game 4 and opened up his Steam library, looking for... Sorry. Okay. Looking for which games he knew supported multiplayer. Want to play... He scrolled down even further and considered his screen scrupulously, mentally taking note of all the titles he knew Cater would like. Some Game 25, The Return of the Game. Actually, Cater, I love how actually is written here. I just find it really funny. Anyway, actually, Cater began, yanking a deck of cards out of his pocket. Idia did a double take at the sudden action. But maybe storing cards on your person was just some heartslabile thing, which is fair. He guessed it was fair. When that one TCG had been popular, he himself had a bunch of trading cards stashed in his hoodie. I may or may not already have something in mind. I may or may not have words. I may or may not already have had something in mind. Idia shrugged. Whatever. Card games were cool. If this was how Cater wanted him to take a breather RQ, he was down. Fine by me, dude. What do you want to play? Crazy Eights, Cater said, without missing a beat, and Idia was suddenly on high alert by his quick answer and seemingly innocuous grin. He could imagine a danger ahead sign flashing over Cater's head. Something was up. BTW, I have an idea that'll make this super interesting. Yep, there it was. Looking into Cater's eyes to try and discern what his ulterior motive was and what he might consider super interesting, proved to be a lost cause, because Idia found he had trouble holding Cater's vibrant gaze for more than a couple seconds without blushing. I love them. Stupid normies with their stupid pretty green eyes. He cleared his throat and tried to appear nonchalant, even though he privately wondered if he was walking into a trap. Okay, shoot. Yes! Okie doke, here are Okie doke, here are the deets. If you win... Cater began, rifle shuffling the cards in an expert fashion. He had tried to teach Idia how to do that, like, a million times, but all he had managed to do was send the cards up in the air. Fair, it took me, like, getting my tarot deck to learn how to shuffle cards. Like, yeah. Learning how to shuffle cards is surprisingly very hard.
It is.
Yeah. I can't, like, when you do it, I can do the, like, putting them all together, but then when people, like, do it backwards to make them all, like, flat again, like, bending them the other way, I can't do that
either.
My very good description of shuffling cards.
Anyway, he sighed, find a way to get Grimmy to say that you can pet him, even though it'll probs, like, cost me my entire bank balance in tuna snacks. Yep, okay, this definitely was interesting. Like, the entire plot of some Game 17 interesting. But Idia had spent enough time around Azul and Board Game Club to learn not to make deals without hearing the other end first. LOL, fine, I'll take the bait. And if I win, wrong word there, okay. And if you win, I assume, is what is meant to be there. Cater grinned and pulled up a flyer on his phone. You come to our... Idia could only assume he was talking about the pop music club when he said our concert next week. What? Go to a concert? IRL? Where there were living, breathing people around? That was asking a lot, even if Cater would be the one who was playing. Like, imagine! Idia would be so out of place at a normie concert anyway. Everyone would be all like, OMG, look at that weird guy skulking in the background. We gotta call security. Or maybe someone would laugh and point to him and say, ew, look at him with the flaming hair. What does he think this is? A Kiss concert? Yeah, no thanks. He couldn't do that. Not in a million years. Even still, he felt a twinge of guilt when he finally said, nope, can't do that. Nope, can't do it. Count me out. Maybe it was a noob tactic, but he'd rather retreat from this instance altogether than gamble if the price was his peace and nerves. You had to be tactical about these things. Normally, you had to be tactical about these things. Tactics were apparently thrown out the window today, because as soon as Idia said these words, Cater did something very underhanded and cruel, in all caps. Please? Like, what was Idia supposed to say to that? Please, from either Ortho or Cater, was literally a 1HKO. 1HKO. What? 1HKO. I assume that means one hit KO. Insta-kill. Illegal cheat code.
One hit kill.
He could only be thankful that Cater hadn't led this whole come to my concert thing with please, because that would have been so unfair. All he could do was sink in so low in his chair that his forehead was level with his desk and groan. Fine. Cater, who was well aware of his powers, smirked and scooted out of the chair. LMAO, knew you'd come around. He shimmied over to Edie's bed and placed the deck of cards face down. You remember how to play Crazy Eights, right? Kinda. He and Gator had played a lot of card games before, so the rules tended to blur together sometimes. But I guess a quick TLDR wouldn't hurt. Nodding, Gator began. Okay, so the object of Crazy Eights is to get rid of all your cards first. We each start with 5. Saying this, he distributed 5 random cards to both himself and Edia. Don't let me peep them, Kay, because the other player's not supposed to know what cards you have. With this, he placed all of his cards behind him on Edia's mattress, while Edia dropped his 5 onto his desk. Before he looked at what he'd gotten, he turned to Cater. Some of the rules of Crazy Eights were coming back to him. Then the dealer, you, picks a random starting card to begin the starter pile. As Edia explained, Cater took a card from the top of the deck. It was a 6 of diamonds, and player 1 has to put down a card from the 5 they have that matches either the same rank or suit of the starting card. In this case, either a 6 or a diamond. If they don't have either, they have to draw from the stockpile, which is basically all the other cards in the deck, until they get a card that has the same suit or rank and can place it on the starter pile. So, if you've never played Crazy Eights before and that didn't make sense, it's basically Uno with a normal deck of cards.
Yup.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played it.
Me neither, but, which is surprising considering, my dad, but...
Okay, next time we get together, we'll all play
Okay.
Crazy Eights.
Oh.
Beaming, Cater pointed to the stockpile.
For a second, I forget I said that.
Yeah?
What? Okay. Sorry, I was talking over someone.
It was just me whining.
Okay. Okay. Beaming, Cater pointed to the stockpile. Yep, but remember, 8s are wild, so if you don't have the right card, you can put down an 8 and switch up the suit and play to be anyone you want. So 8s are basically a cheat card, Edia reiterated. Cater nodded. Basically. Okie doke, ready to play? Edia nodded and began to survey the cards on his desk. He let out a silent gasp at his haul. He knew that this was a standard 52 deck of cards, and as such, there were only 4 of each card in the entire deck. Somehow, he'd managed to end up with all 4 8s. All 4 cheat cards. Oh yeah, he could cheese this thing, no sweat. A positively demonic, read gremlin, smile blossomed on his face. He definitely wouldn't be going to that concert now. If he played his cards right, no pun intended, he would be getting to pet Grim though. Score! From the bed, Cater grinned. Man, am I an awesome shuffler or what? He asked, clearly pleased with the cards he'd drawn. Get ready to have front row tickets to my concert, King, 'cause you're about to get stomped. He paused and looked thoughtful. No, but this'll actually be so great. It'll be way cool to look down from on stage and see a friendly... He then laughed, for they both knew that Edia's resting bitch face was far from friendly. Your face in the crowd. There it was, another twinge of guilt. And it only became more severe as Edia surveyed his OP deck. It still didn't go away, even when Edia mustered his most severe trash talk of promising to send Cater to the Shadow Realm. The phrase just didn't have the same oomph that it usually did. Edia bit his lip as they drew cards to see who would go first. RN Jesus was on his side yet again as he drew the highest rank. Somehow, he didn't feel like doing his victory dance. Cater and Ortho were the only people/technomantic humanoid robots allowed to see it. Ugh, this was the worst. Why was he feeling like the most epic failure of a boyfriend just then? It wasn't his fault that he managed to draw all the 8s in the deck. He glanced back at his cards. Oh, great, along with the 8s, he'd managed to also draw a 4 of diamonds. Figures, and... Wow, pause. Since this was Cater's deck of cards, he doodled little smiley faces on the diamonds. And one frowny face, Edia noted. In blue pen. With yellow highlighter for the eyes. He didn't have to be the best mystery game player this side of the Isle of Sages. No, in all of Twisted Wonderland, what was the point in selling himself short, to figure out who that particular doodle was supposed to represent? Sigh, sigh, sigh. I love them, they're so cute. Gods, don't be, like, classy and cool or anything, Cater. Idiot stifled a groan as he stared at the doodled-on floor of diamonds, and gave a small smile when he once again saw his frowning face drawn upon it. Gods, why did his boyfriend have to err on the side of cheesy and cute? Didn't he know Edie was a total sucker for stuff like that? It was the side effect of reading so much shoujo manga. Even worse, the feeling of guilt at the idea of steamrolling this round of Crazy Eights had now grown exponentially. Cater adjusted the starter card and showed it to Idia. Got any sixes or diamonds? Please say no. Idia pretended to consider his cards. The 4 of diamonds taunted him with all the ferocity of, Getsuga Tensho? And not the basic-ass Shikai stuff, he was talking Bankai. Nope, no sixes. Or diamonds. He cringed. Damn it. This kind of forfeiting was for wimpy nerds, not for sensible ones like him. This kind of forfeiting was for wimpy nerds, not for sensible ones like him. Yes, but also, LOL already? Cater snickered as Idia reached into the stockpile to grab a playable card. His eyes widened when Idia kept drawing until he'd taken about 7 cards. Damn, dude, you're really not fixing a win here today, huh? He didn't seem to notice Idia's glowering at his desk as he continued. Again, props for me, because when I get up on that stage, you'll be there, and I'll be all psyched, and Lils will be all like, you seem excited, Cater, what's the occasion? And I'll point into the crowd and say, check it out, my boyfriend's in there! Yeah, okay, he'd be the wimpy nerd for the day. If it was gonna make Cater that happy, he'd let him win. They are so cute. Even though, as he stared at his now 12 cards, 7 of which he hadn't even needed to draw in the first place, he knew he was already doing it. QQ. The game went on, and Idia played miserably. Every time it was his turn, he feigned grumpiness. Okay, he wasn't totally feigning it because he really, really, really liked winning, okay? And drew at least 5 cards. He put down a few every once in a while to keep Cater from suspecting his purposeful failure, because he wanted to preserve some of his dignity. Although, was pretending to have the worst luck ever in a game as simple as Crazy Eights really the best way to do that? Especially after he ended up drawing every single card in the stockpile, and they had to shuffle the starter pile and use it as the stockpile instead? Yeah, not his finest moment. Well, whatever. He was too far into this play to back out now. Cater stared at the mounting pile of cards on Idia's desk. 7s, wow. Okay, Tio, what's up, Idia? You're normally a way sore loser, but I've barely heard a peep out of you. And trust me, you're losing bad. He held up his 2 remaining cards face side down. Check this, I've pretty much won already, because I only have 2 cards left. Maybe I'm just leveling up in my maturity stat, Idia said evasively, plopping down a 3 of hearts onto a 3 of spades on the... a 3 of... oh, wait, no. Mixing up my suits, never mind. Plopping down a 3 of hearts onto a 3 of spades on the newly formed starter pile. Looking unconvinced, Cater played a 2 of hearts. Press X to doubt, but okay. Idia tried to look nonchalant as he stared at the last card in Cater's hands. As they'd been playing, he'd been making mental notes as to which card suits and ranks Cater needed to draw for, so he could figure out which ones he already had. If his observations were worth anything, then Cater's final card would probably be some kind of clover. Or a diamond. That meant, in order for Cater to win, Idia would have to play a card that would switch the starter deck from hearts to clovers or diamonds. So, he'd need to put down a 2 of clovers or a 2 of diamonds. OMG, was this how Yuji... I don't know if that's Yuji or Yugi? Oh, it's Yugi, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. I don't know why that... Okay. OMG, was this how Yugi always felt? And despite having too many cards to count, Idia didn't have a 2 of clovers. He grimaced. It seemed that RNGesus wouldn't pity him this time. It was all good, though, for he could still put down a 2 of diamonds. Gator's eyes lit up and he triumphantly pressed his last card, a 3 of diamonds, down onto the starter pile, and Edea breathed a sigh of relief. Boom! KK sweep! You're coming to my concert! Darn it, Edea mumbled. You won. GGWP. Totally was hoping that wouldn't happen. Womp womp womp. He was cut off when he felt his entire chair lean back as Cater leaped onto him. Help? Oh, is it 911? SOS? Suffocation? Had Cater just put up with him these past few months just so he could murder him this very minute? But Cater's voice was pleased as his warm breath tickled Edia's neck. You know I'm not an idiot. You know I'm not an idiot. Idiot. You know I'm not an idiot, right? We cycled through the entire deck, like, twice, and I didn't draw an 8 even once. You kept them all to yourself, didn't you? What? No, lied Edea, blushing as Cater's hands wrapped tighter around him. Only a total scrub would do something like... He was interrupted as Cater kissed him hard on the mouth, causing Edea's entire face to turn red and the tips of his hair to fade pink. Thanks for letting me win. LMAO, like Edea was supposed to be able to form coherent sentences after that. But somehow, as he relaxed into Cater's arms, he managed to eke out, yeah, well, thanks for wanting me at your concert in the first place. The end. Aww. I love them. They are so cute.
That was adorable.
Yeah, it was. I love them. There a reason they were my number 2 when we did our ships ranking episode.
Yeah. Melissa? Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
You just didn't say.
Low-key zoning. I just got a bunch of notifications, so I was trying to go through it.
Okay.
But I was listening to the fic. I promise. Very cute. Okay, well that was us reading fics. I gotta pull up my thing real quick, because I was gonna shout out a fic that I did comment on, but I don't think the authors looked at any of the comments recently. Unfortunately, I don't have it pulled up.
Hang on,
so
I know what one you're talking about,
quick.
and I think I can pull it up real quick. If you can't find it.
I just gotta log in. I never logged into AM3.
There's my fic.
I forgot it. I had to. It kept saying my password was wrong, so I changed my password, and then I was like,
okay. Yeah, sorry.
I didn't think this through because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, and now I don't know how to look at the
I got it. I got the fic. It is the fic that we want to shout out. That is one of our favorite Melorido fics. That is so cute. It's Unsafe Piercing Practices Aren't Unsafe When Your Dragon Boyfriend Does Them by LGBT K-pop nerd. It's so cute, but unfortunately they did not get back to Utilis's request, and they don't have a blanket permission statement, so we can't, I didn't read that one, but we can shout it out. It is so cute. It is exactly what the title says.
10 out of 10.
It's so cute.
Malice giving piercings with his fangs.
You haven't read this one? No! It's so cute. Hang on, I'm gonna... Oh, it's locked, so I can't send it to you. But it is absolutely adorable.
Just look it up. We just said it. Yes. There's also another one that we had read in the past that I couldn't find. It was like a Lilia XU, which I normally don't like, but it was essentially like Lilia just kidnapped a child because, like, how dare the parents abandon it in a crib.
Okay, hang on. You said you sent it to us.
Parents.
Was that in the Discord or the Instagram?
On Instagram, but I have no clue. Maybe it was Discord. I don't know. But essentially Yu's trying to tell them, you need to put this child back while Lilia's refusing. And then they hold the little baby for a bit, which they're like, has been sleeping for this entire conversation, which was a little weird because they were low-key yelling, which reminded them of another person they knew that seemed to sleep through everything. And the fic ends with them just being like, hey, Lilia, how did you get silver?
Well.
And it's... I love it. But I don't know what it is, what it's called. I just know it was on AO3. I did search for it. I don't know if it got taken down, but I could not find it. If you find it, please let me know. I want to read it. Yeah.
Not right now.
Okay. Can't find it. It's not in the Discord. And it's not letting me do a page search on the Instagram group chat. So yeah, if one of our listeners finds that, put like a link to it in the comments, because like I'm sure we would all love to read that.
I love trying to
begin with. Please do. I would shout it out properly if I knew the information. Oh, we didn't say what these like fics were on. All of them, but the first one are on AO3. The first one is on Tumblr.
I will put links.
It might be on AO3. I have no clue.
Put them in the inspired by section. Yeah.
A little shout out to myself, but I have another little fanfic. It's like 200.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is it your cigarette fic?
Okay,
I remember that one.
It is a cigarette fic. It's about Edia lighting cigarettes with his hair and getting crippling depression. But I love it, so
yeah.
Read it.
If you want to find their account, it will be either linked in the notes of this page, because again, I'm going to put links to all of the fics, or they have our first episode bookmarked, so you can find it through there as well.
Yeah. If you do a little digging.
If you go on AO3, if they have the first episode bookmarked on AO3, so if you go to the AO3 page, if you're not already on the AO3 page, and go all the way back to the first episode, and go to the bookmarks, you'll find it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted me to say that. If you don't want me to, I can cut it out, but...
No, it's fine.
Okay.
No.
Alright.
Okay, well, that was Wonder reading us fics.
When you're reading bedtime stories.
Our 9 o'clock bedtime stories.
I might go to bed.
Honestly,
No, we have to record more after this.
Kidding.
Are y'all free tomorrow?
I don't know. Depends what the doctor says, but probably.
Yes.
We could just do that other episode tomorrow.
Okay.
I also kind of want to go to bed.
That would be a good idea, actually.
Fair. That's fair. Us having scheduled conversations on episodes. Okay. Well, I hope you guys liked this episode. Apologies for my fic. I swear I didn't remember.
It's fine. It didn't get so uncomfortable for me that I, had to cut it off, obviously. Just that I had to rush through it, but...
The before and after were adorable, and I think that makes up for it.
The after, arguable. Considering that one line of dialogue.
That one line of dialogue. I thought the end was entertaining.
At the very end, yeah.
Because it would be Ace that would comment.
Yeah. I'm gonna read those other parts of the Tumblr fic.
I will also read those at some point, because that's hilarious.
I know I saw them, and for some reason my mind was just like, oh, those probably aren't connected.
No, they definitely are.
I don't know why. Normally I read all the parts.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. This is getting long now.
Yeah, okay.
I hope you guys enjoy this hour and a half long episode, because it probably won't happen again.
It might.
If you guys
I don't
liked
know.
Wonder
It might.
reading our stories, we can always try and do it again.
I'm very much down for that.
Yeah, and if you
If
have
people
any
have-
stories...
If people are fic writers, do not send me other people's fics. But if people are fic writers and want me to do an episode reading their fics, I can do that. You can. Okay, hang on. Let me add some qualifications. You can send me other people's fics if you go into their profile and confirm that they have a blanket permission statement. If they don't, encourage them to have one, because podfickers love those. But otherwise, if the person does not have a blanket permission statement, do not ask for permission yourself. But if you are the author and would like for me to read your fic, go ahead and send it to us. Okay.
Even if you don't want to Wonder to read it like out loud for a podfic, we'll just like read it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll read any
Honestly.
fics you send us.
Just put all your fic recommendations in the comments, because we obviously
Please.
I don't know about you two, but I live on fanfiction, so
I mean,
yeah.
Oh, same. Especially all the Cali Jammy. We know how much Kaden loves it.
Oh, you changed your icon. Oh, that's adorable.
wait, what is your
I did.
icon? I need to see.
For context,
Ew.
we call on Discord,
Sorry.
and Wonder's picture is Lilia, and Kaden changed theirs to Malice. So I was like, mine is just two like dragons on a coloring page. That's also been my like lock screen for like 3 years. So I'm like, I gotta fix it. I gotta change the lineup. So now I have Kalim, and the other half of the picture is Silver holding a sword, and then it's Kalim holding a spoon.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh,
And it's adorable. So now when we're on call, they just all line up and they're
So
all
cute.
twist.
Mine
okay, we
is
really need to end this because it's almost an
great.
hour 40 now.
We really
Mine
need
is
to
just
end this.
Matthew, like, poorly
Okay.
eating an ice cream. I think he's biting it. Who bites ice cream?
I do.
Me?
Yeah,
when
when
it's
it's
a
that kind of
bar.
ice cream, it's acceptable.
No.
It is a Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse
it's like
shaped,
one of the ones
like
they
the
sell at
vanilla on a
Disney
stick
in the
dipped in
parks.
chocolate.
Meanwhile, I just have canon art. I
That
have
is acceptable.
Lilia's, what is it? His robe card. His robe groovy. Well, I
Yeah.
am thinking about
His
changing
robes.
to like a fan art or something. Just because I feel like it's a little boring.
I was gonna say, well, you gotta keep it in the
some
theme.
saved because I was doing CapCut edits again.
Oh my god. I also have an
Yeah,
entire
Cap
Pinterest
Cuts.
board that's just
They sent
Lilia,
us like
though.
80.
So,
80?
Fair.
Huh?
I was definitely scrolling through Pinterest while you were reading to find a new picture.
okay, we need to call this. We can continue to discuss. Bye!
Okay, Thanks for listening. Goodbye. Hope you have a nice day and all that
Bye.
other stuff. Bye.